October 20th, 2025. Across the U.S., the weather feels calm, almost too calm. Houston is sweltering in record heat, but this warmth is fueling a much bigger story. The final week of October is set for a dramatic weather shift. Powerful atmospheric forces are converging, setting the stage for one of the year's most impactful storms. The jet stream is about to plunge south, energizing a massive storm system over the country's heartland. Meanwhile, a tropical wave in the Caribbean could soon become Hurricane Melissa. The interaction between these two systems could bring high winds, flooding, severe storms, and even heavy snow. This is a complex high-stakes forecast that could affect millions. As autumn's warmth clashes with winter's chill, the time to prepare is now. Stay with us as we break down each piece of this unfolding weather event. It all starts with the jet stream, a high-altitude river of air that acts as the invisible architect of our weather. This fast-moving current, thousands of feet above the ground, is constantly shifting, shaping the patterns of storms and sunshine across the continent. When the jet stream changes course, it can set the stage for dramatic weather events, sometimes with little warning. By October 26th, the jet stream will take a sharp dive, plunging southward over the United States. This shift is more than just a line on a map. It's the trigger for a major atmospheric shakeup. As the jet stream dips, it drags cold, dense air from Canada deep into the heart of the country, setting the stage for a powerful storm system to develop. This deep trough in the jet stream acts as the engine, gathering energy over the west before slingshotting it into the plains. As the trough digs in, it creates a zone of instability, where warm and cold air masses collide. This collision is the fuel that powers the storm, allowing it to rapidly intensify as it moves eastward. A powerful low-pressure system will rapidly intensify, with models hinting at pressures in the 980s millibars, a sign of a high-impact storm. The lower the pressure, the stronger the storm, and this one is shaping up to be a powerhouse. Meteorologists are watching closely as the system deepens, knowing that such low pressures can bring damaging winds, heavy precipitation, and even blizzard conditions in some areas. On the storm's east side, warm, moist air will surge northward from the Gulf of Mexico. This influx of moisture is like adding fuel to a fire, intensifying rainfall and increasing the risk of severe thunderstorms. Expect torrential downpours, flash flooding, and the potential for dangerous lightning and hail as the system taps into this tropical moisture pipeline. Meanwhile, on the west and north sides of the storm, a blast of cold Canadian air will sweep in, bringing a dramatic temperature drop. For many, this will mean the season's first snow, an early taste of winter that could blanket towns and cities in white, disrupt travel, and catch some off guard with its sudden arrival. The system's sheer size means its effects will be felt far and wide, stretching from the Gulf Coast to the Great Lakes and beyond. Millions of people will be under the influence of this sprawling storm, experiencing everything from heavy rain and thunderstorms to snow and gusty winds. While the tropical threat remains a wild card, lurking just off the coast, the continental storm is nearly certain to make its mark. If the two systems interact, the results could be even more dramatic, with enhanced rainfall, stronger winds, and a broader area of impact. The exact track of the storm will determine where the worst impacts are felt. A slight shift north or south could mean the difference between rain and snow, or between a glancing blow and a direct hit. Forecasters are analyzing every new model run, looking for clues about where the storm will go next. Alone, this storm could cause major disruption, power outages, travel delays, and hazardous conditions. But if it interacts with a tropical system, the stakes rise even higher with the potential for record-breaking rainfall and widespread flooding. This is the backbone of the volatile weather ahead, a complex, dynamic system that will test the resilience of communities across the country. From the first raindrops to the last snowflake, this storm will be one to watch. Now is the time to prepare. Whether it's stocking up on essentials, checking your emergency plans, or simply staying informed, take steps to get ready for a storm that could reshape the week for millions. The next few days will be critical as this giant storm takes shape and begins its march across the nation. The most certain threat? Widespread, damaging winds. As the low-pressure system deepens, a steep pressure gradient forms. Think of air rushing down a steep hill. This setup means hazardous winds could stretch from the plains to the Great Lakes. Sustained winds and powerful gusts may down trees, cause outages, and make travel dangerous. Southerly winds to the east will transport moisture and pose direct threats. To the west, cold wraparound winds will bring a sharp chill and possibly snow. Residents across the central U.S. should secure outdoor items and prepare for outages. The wind field will be immense, making this a notable event. Check trees near your home and power lines now. The scale of this wind threat is what sets it apart. While the U.S. braces for a powerful continental storm, millions of Americans are keeping a close eye on the skies, preparing their homes and families for what could be a significant weather event. Emergency kits are being checked, and local officials are urging residents to stay informed as the situation develops. But while all eyes are on the mainland, the tropics are heating up with their own brewing threat. The Caribbean, known for its warm waters and volatile weather, is once again becoming the center of attention for meteorologists and storm trackers. Invest 98L, a developing system in the eastern Caribbean, has caught the attention of experts. With a high probability of strengthening, it could soon earn the name Tropical Storm, or even Hurricane Melissa, marking a significant escalation in the region's storm activity. The conditions fueling this system are nearly perfect for rapid intensification. Warm Caribbean waters, often several degrees above average for this time of year, provide ample energy, while low wind shear allows the storm to organize and strengthen without disruption. Meteorologists are closely monitoring every update, analyzing new data as it comes in. The main questions now are, how quickly will this system intensify, and just how strong could it become in the coming days? And perhaps most importantly, where will it go? The potential tracks vary widely, making it a challenge to predict which communities might be at risk. By midweek, forecasters expect the system to become more organized, with satellite imagery likely to show a more defined center of circulation. If current trends continue, we could see Melissa reach hurricane strength by the end of the week, posing a serious threat to the region. This tropical threat adds a new layer of complexity and danger to an already active late October forecast. Residents across the Caribbean are urged to stay vigilant, as conditions can change rapidly. A hurricane in the Caribbean is always a major concern, with the potential for devastating winds, flooding rains, and dangerous storm surge. What makes this situation even more remarkable is the timing. The possibility of two major storms, one in the U.S. and one in the Caribbean, unfolding simultaneously, could be historic and would stretch emergency resources thin. The fate of Melissa is closely tied to the broader North American weather pattern. Shifts in the jet stream or high-pressure systems could steer the storm toward the islands, the U.S. coast, or even out to sea. Its path could threaten vulnerable Caribbean islands, major U.S. coastal cities, or potentially interact with the continental storm, creating even more unpredictable weather scenarios. The rare possibility of two powerful systems converging could have far-reaching impacts, both meteorologically and for the millions of people in their paths. The next few days will be absolutely critical for tracking Melissa's development and potential impacts. Meteorologists will be working around the clock to provide the latest updates. Stay alert for rapid changes, and make sure you're prepared for whatever this unpredictable hurricane season may bring. Forecast models disagree on Melissa's future, and the differences matter. The GFS model shows rapid intensification south of Hispaniola, with major impacts for the Dominican Republic and Haiti. The Euro model predicts slower development, with a westward track toward Cuba and the Bahamas, potentially threatening the U.S. East Coast. The German Icon model blends both, placing a major hurricane southwest of Jamaica. All models agree, a powerful hurricane is likely in the Caribbean. The exact track depends on high-pressure systems and the timing of the U.S. trough. Residents from the Caribbean to the U.S. East Coast must stay vigilant. The coming days will clarify which path Melissa takes. The biggest concern right now, the possibility that the U.S. storm system and Hurricane Melissa could interact in a way that amplifies their power. When two major weather systems approach each other, the atmosphere can become a stage for a dangerous dance, with each system influencing the other's path and intensity. Meteorologists are watching closely, because if these storms merge, the results could be far more severe than if they remain separate. This setup is eerily reminiscent of Hurricane Sandy, back in 2012, when a powerful hurricane collided with a continental storm system. That merger created a devastating hybrid storm, unleashing catastrophic flooding, widespread power outages, and billions in damages across the Northeast. The memory of Sandy lingers, reminding us just how destructive these rare combinations can be. If Hurricane Melissa moves northward at just the right moment, it could be drawn into the circulation of the U.S. storm. This would steer the hurricane toward the northeast or mid-Atlantic, putting millions of people in the potential path of a much larger, more dangerous storm. Timing and positioning are critical. Just a few hours difference could change everything. The result could be a true superstorm, combining the hurricane's fierce winds and torrential rain with the vast scale and cold air of a continental system. This hybrid could bring not only flooding and wind damage, but also snow and freezing temperatures to areas unaccustomed to such extremes. Some weather models, like the Euro model, are even hinting at the possibility of a massive cyclone forming over southern Ontario by Halloween. This would be an extraordinary event, with the potential to disrupt travel, damage infrastructure, and impact millions across the region. While this scenario is considered low probability, it's also high impact. That means it's unlikely, but if it does happen, the consequences could be severe. Communities are already on alert, watching for any signs that the storms might merge. Timing is everything. A small shift in the atmosphere could send Melissa harmlessly out to sea instead, sparing the coast from the worst. But with so many variables at play, forecasters are keeping a close eye on every update. The fact that our most advanced weather models are even showing this possibility is enough to raise early concern. It's a reminder of how quickly conditions can change and how important it is to stay informed. Emergency management teams are already preparing, monitoring alerts, and urging the public to pay attention to forecasts. We must all watch for signs of this dangerous merger and be ready to act if the threat becomes real. This is the worst-case scenario, a rare but possible event that could bring widespread destruction. It's not guaranteed, but it's on the table, and that's why everyone from meteorologists to emergency responders is taking it seriously. The storm's impact won't stop at wind. As warm, humid air surges north, the stage is set for a severe weather outbreak across the southern plains and Mississippi Valley. Dew points in the 60s, rare for late October, will fuel explosive thunderstorms. From October 26 to 28, expect organized severe storms, including supercells with hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes. Nocturnal tornadoes are a real risk, so have a way to get alerts at night. The exact risk zone depends on the storm's track, but a multi-day outbreak is likely. Review your severe weather plan now. This is a direct result of the dynamic clash of air masses. This storm will bring a dramatic shift, snow for many. As the low tracks east, cold air wraps around its backside, turning rain to heavy wet snow in the Rockies, High Plains, and Great Lakes. Lake-effect snow could bring intense, localized accumulations. Higher elevations in the Northeast may see their first significant snow by Halloween. Temperatures could drop 30–40 degrees in days. Heavy, wet snow plus strong winds could cause outages and travel chaos. It's a stark reminder of how quickly autumn can turn to winter. The final week of October 2025 brings a complex, dangerous weather setup. A powerful storm will deliver damaging winds, severe storms, and heavy snow, ending autumn abruptly. The developing Hurricane Melissa adds uncertainty and risk. Whether Melissa threatens the Caribbean, the U.S. coast, or merges with the continental storm, it demands attention. The Sandy-like scenario is rare, but possible. Now is the time to review emergency plans and secure your property. Have multiple ways to get weather alerts and be ready for outages. Listen to local officials and be prepared to act. The weather will change fast. Stay informed and vigilant. We'll guide you through every development as Halloween week unfolds.